Nice guys making a difference.
Hey everyone, welcome to Graded Events. I'm your host, Delaney Hall. Welcome to another Thursday. Happy to be with you guys. Lots to talk about this week, but of course, if you watched any amount of news today, you know that the big talker is Hurricane Helene, which is why we're bringing in our good pal, Maddie D. Hello.
Let me try to find where I'm supposed to be here.
I know.
Oh my gosh, look at my hair. I'm so sorry.
Okay, so
I literally came running in. I apologize.
Well, no, it's also my fault. We usually set the shots before,
Yeah, no, it's all
and we were already, the moment had passed. But you look great.
Yeah, it looks so great.
You look great.
So the reason why my hair is all like this, because I've been sitting in the back waiting and looking at stuff. So the new update for Hurricane Helene just came in. Winds 105 miles per hour, so still a Category 2. We expect it will strengthen to a Category 3 storm by about 2 p.m., maybe 5 p.m. today. 120 mile per hour winds is what we expect at landfall. But then you have the 20-foot storm surge. We have the extreme heavy rain. And you're asking, so what does that mean for us, right? Let's bring it here to Central Virginia.
Yeah.
We're going to see some showers this afternoon. Doesn't affect any of the plans that we're going to be talking about. Of course, Friday, you're going to talk about this. Folk Fest.
Yeah.
State Fair, Virginia open.
Yeah.
I expect showers, some thunderstorms with locally heavy downpours because it's that tropical air sitting over us. Then Helene is going to go back into the Tennessee Valley, which means what's going to happen here, real simple. We're going to have a mix of sun and clouds both Saturday and Sunday, at times heavier on the clouds, but still okay. And then some showers will pop up in the afternoon because of that humidity that's out there. Almost like what we'd have in July or August.
Yeah, so, like, would you call it a washout for either of those days? Okay.
No. I think tomorrow, Friday, would be the wettest day.
Okay.
And then Saturday, Sunday looking better. So, again, not a washout. You might have to dodge a couple of showers, but I think it'll be okay.
Okay, so just bring the rain jacket. And I will say,
Yeah.
prepare for humidity, right?
Yeah, I mean, this is, when you step outside today, and it's going to be the same thing all weekend, it's kind of what we more feel in July or August type
Yeah.
humidity. It's not 95 degrees. It's, 80, 82, but it's still pretty stiff.
I
stiff out
felt
there.
it out when we came to work at 3:30 in the morning. I had
Yeah.
my jacket on. I was like, I don't need this.
Don't need it, yeah.
Okay, well, that's good to know. Thank
Yep.
you for breaking that down
Sure.
for us. Not a washout, which is good news for
Yep.
all of our events. The first event I want to talk about is the Richmond Folk Festival. Have you been to the Folk Festival?
I have not. I've been downtown when it's going on, and
Yeah.
it's a tremendous amount of people, but I physically not stepped onto the grounds where all the acts are going on.
Yeah, I haven't been recently. I went when I was really young, and I remember having a great time. But it's actually turning 20 this year, which is awesome. So I want to bring in some photos that we have from years past. If you guys have ever been to this is down on Browns Island. 6 stages of live music, more than 30 artists from around the world. This is happening Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So Friday from 6:30 to 10, Saturday from 12 to 9:30, Sunday from 12 to 6. And I think what people love most about this, one, just the amount of people that come is really fun. You can people watch, but just the variety of music that you can hear. Matt, I want to bring you in because I took down some notes as to what kind of artists. So rockabilly.
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 So
Yes.
look, I know nothing, right? So I'm assuming we're crossing rock and roll with some sort of country. I don't really.
Yeah. So this guy, his name is Albert Lee. He's from California. He's from the UK.
Okay.
So he's a top R&B guy, but he combines that with like guitar playing and like hybrid picking of the guitar.
Right.
Super cool. Tour guitar. There's gospel, soul blues, Irish, bluegrass, Afro-futuristic, jazz, funk, and soul. So literally there's
Something for everyone.
Literally, yes.
Yeah.
And as a part of their 20th anniversary, they have brought back a lot of the acts that were popular in years past, which is pretty cool.
Very cool.
Have you been downtown recently? That area?
No.
Okay.
Even though I fished in the James, no, I haven't been to that area. No.
So they're building that new amphitheater right there
Yes,
by Tredegar.
yeah.
So that is impacting the layout of this year's festival just a little bit. So it's usually just on Browns Island for the most part. Now they're expanding it all the way up to 2nd and Bird, past the construction. But there will be an on-site shuttle there that can take folks back and forth because that's like a giant hill and it's a lot of walking.
Yeah.
So that's good. But I did talk to Stephen Leckie. He's the director of events over at Venture Richmond, who's, of course, hosting the Folk Fest, about the history of this and what they're doing for the 20th anniversary. So let's take a listen.
So a big parade happening on Saturday afternoon at 5:15 with the Treme Brass Band from New Orleans, one of New Orleans' best parade bands, second line bands. So they will parade from the American Civil War Museum down Tredegar Street to the Altria stage. We'll have Senator Kane there to, talk about the festival, and then it'll just.
So Stephen is great, so passionate about what he does. Basically he's talking about a parade on Saturday at 5:15. It's going to start in front of the American Civil War Museum and then go to the Altria stage, and you can follow behind a New Orleans brass band, because I feel like you have to do that once in your lifetime, right?
And how about he was wearing the George Clinton Parliament Funkadelic shirt? I mean, wow. That's awesome, though. Good stuff.
We got there, and he's like, I wish I changed. I'm like, no, this is perfect.
It's so great. It's so folk. Yeah, right.
It's so you. So he's been kind of running around getting everything squared away. Also, parking. So obviously you're downtown.
Yeah.
So there's
you
a lot
want to shuttle in?
Yeah. Uber or Lyft or whatever that ride share means to you. There's also some parking decks around the area, but they're also offering off-site parking over at Dogwood Dell on Saturday and Sunday.
Gotcha. Buses
will run every 30 minutes, but it will cost you $5 per adult, and they only take your credit or debit card. So just keep that in mind, but it's, an option if you don't want to fight the traffic. That's what I have for the Folk Festival. Should be really fun.
Should be good.
Always a good time. So there are, of course, other events happening this week. The State Fair of Virginia, which starts tomorrow at Meadow Event Park up in Doswell. So the normal hours are from 10 to 9, mostly every day. And it lasts, of course, tomorrow through October 6th. Everything that you would expect to find at a state fair: racing pigs, magic shows, stunt shows, a chainsaw carver, a rodeo, a petting zoo, and, Matt, a giant vegetable weigh-off.
So that's really cool. So, look, I mean, we all talk about county fairs and state fairs, and we always say the food, the pigs, the this, that. It's really about the 4-H. It's really about the local grown produce and understanding what is done around here from the farmers and all that. So I think the produce weigh-off, when you get the giant pumpkin, the large squash, the, hugest watermelon, whatever I think that's cool stuff. I really do. I like that.
It's fascinating, and it is the home to the butternut squash world record.
Interesting. I did not know that.
It's a Guinness World Record. A man named Jason Loris grew a butternut squash weighing 131.4 pounds.
I'm not going to ask you if we have a picture of it. Do we have a picture of it?
No, I
wish we did. That'd be so cool.
I probably have to do some more research. But last year, they also put some stats up for last year, just, I guess, so the competition knows what's up, right? So last year, the giant pumpkin won 1,009 pounds.
How do you grow a pumpkin that big? And how do you get it there?
That's my question.
I mean,
it looks like the winner is from West Virginia, too.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
So a flatbed truck, but that's a lot of weight.
Yeah,
right?
for sure. Yeah. And at the same point, you got to protect it. It's got to get there. I mean, safely.
Yeah.
Well. So, go ahead. Go on.
I literally have all of these different vegetables, so I'm only going to pick a few. A tomato weighing 3.34 pounds last year.
I mean, you think about a tomato. I mean, usually the size of your hand. Yeah. Maybe a good beefsteak is a little bit larger.
It's pretty big.
Pretty big, yeah.
And then a giant watermelon out of Spotsylvania last year was 224.2 pounds. Not kidding, yeah.
I was thinking 50 pounds. Okay.
200. Do you know how long? I think by the time you would start eating it, it would go bad.
Well, I mean,
right?
If you have a big family, I mean, and maybe you're holding a 20-year reunion, everybody's coming into town.
I got an award-winning watermelon.
I got it. We're good.
Let's go. All right, I love it. Well, so literally,
it better have a big yellow spot so it tastes super sweet.
That is the trick to finding a good watermelon, right?
Yeah, that's what I've been told.
All right. Well, if you want to go see some massive vegetables, you go to the State Fair this year.
There you go.
You can get tickets online in advance if you get a little bit of a discount if you do that, but the last day to buy advance tickets with the discount is today. Children under 4 are free. 5 and up, it'll get you around $12, including a service free. You can get an unlimited ride wristband and premium parking for an extra charge, but usually parking, I believe, is free up there. During the State Fair, while it's going on online, you can get them in advance at $15.50. At the gate, you'll pay $1 extra at $16.50. So, yeah.
Good stuff.
State Fair. I'm excited.
All right, so now we got the Folk Fest, got the State Fair.
Yeah, yes.
But you and I were talking off air. There's $1.5 billion festivals this weekend.
There's so many.
Yeah, it's
great.
All
right, I'm going to bring. This is a good thing. It's a good problem, right? The Math Alive exhibit at the Science Museum of Virginia begins on Saturday. So this is, I believe, a touring exhibit that's going across the country. So it's included in general admission. It is geared towards kids 7 and up, and they talk about how math is used in everyday life. Because I think, Matt, we've all had the question, when am I going to use this?
So, I mean, you can't ask me that question.
See,
because being a scientist,
yes.
I use math all the time. So I would ask the opposite question. When do I care if I have a semicolon or colon in my sentence?
Touche.
And the thing is, as I always say, my joke, English and I didn't get along too good, so that's why I do science. Nonetheless.
And now you're a brilliant meteorologist.
Oh, so
That's why we
brilliant.
love
Yeah.
you. I'm glad you actually said that because I wrote down some of the things that these kiddos are going to be learning through this exhibit. Okay, a 3D snowboard race, sequencing for robots, and master data like a meteorologist to understand extreme weather.
I love it.
Isn't that cool?
That's great. Where's this at?
The Science Museum of Virginia.
Of course it is.
Yeah. So it's open on Saturday. It's on display through January 12th. You may have some future meteorologists that are going to be up in there.
That's fantastic. I love that. Yeah.
That's awesome. So yeah, Math Alive exhibit, making math fun, because honestly, at the end of the day, you do use math every single day. So I guess we should stop asking that question.
And people don't balance their checkbook anymore. I'm sorry. Bye-bye.
I didn't mean that. You just say balance your check.
People don't balance a checkbook anymore. You know?
I don't.
No. But you need math to do that, and you should do that. And then, of course, Lynn is saying, who writes checks, Matt? Yeah, I know.
No, I don't write checks. But you do it on the app now. But you still need to know those life lessons. Let's be honest.
We'll move on. I'm an old man.
We're going to move on now. All right. Also happening this weekend, the Festival of India 2024 at the Greater Richmond Convention Center. This is Saturday and Sunday, 11 to 9. So this actually started back in 1981, which is I love seeing all of these festivals. We're like, this festival turns 20, this festival turns 30. Next week is the Armenian Food Festival turning 64. Like it's so cool to see the longevity of these events, right? So you'll find classical and modern live performances, Indian cuisine, supplied by local restaurants and some families, Indian clothing, jewelry, movies, souvenirs, and it is open and free to the public. Have you dabbled in any Indian food?
I have a little bit. I'm not a big spicy person. My wife is certainly not. But we have, I have. I think she is not yet. But yeah.
It's a good opportunity to learn more, right?
It is.
Okay.
It is, for sure.
So that's Saturday and Sunday. The last one I have on the list is the Chesterfield Freedom Festival at the Chesterfield County Fairgrounds. This is on Saturday from 1 to 9. It is free, and this is presented by the Vets on Track Foundation, which helps homeless veterans and first responders transition from life on the street. So if that's traditional housing to mental health resources, they're really doing everything they can to help our veterans and our first responders, of course, who we are so thankful for. So basically on Saturday, this is a huge celebration honoring them.
Right.
So you'll find live music, food, a job and a resource fair, kid zones, and a display of work trucks and vehicles, like from all the different police departments and fire trucks. I think it's always so cool to see that in person.
It is. It is. I think anytime you can, and especially if you could expose little kids to that, because there's always a fear about the siren with little kids. And things. Yeah. So getting them out there, learning more about it, it's great. So that is all I have. I say that, but we just covered a lot. There's a lot, and there's probably more than we even know of. But
So again, if you ever have an event that you want us to know about, please send us an email at news@wrec.com. We're always looking to highlight all the wonderful events we have around here. But for now, we will say goodbye and see you next week.
Bye-bye.